All right, welcome back to NBC News. Now we've got some breaking news. The House just voted on a motion to table articles of impeachment. Joining me now, legal analyst Danny Savalas. He's going to break all of this down. Danny, for a lot of people, this may seem overwhelming. These articles of impeachment just introduced last night. We've already had a vote today. Could you kind of run us through what's gone on here?
These are not the articles of impeachment that people expected to be brought against Donald Trump. And as expected, and we're seeing live happening right in front of us, they are going to go nowhere. And when you read the articles of impeachment that Representative Green is bringing, you can see why. He's essentially claiming a high misdemeanor under the constitutional standard, generally laying out he's just a generally bad person. But what we know from the history of impeachment is that maladministration, even being a bad person, has historically not been enough to rise to the level of high crimes and misdemeanors, keeping in mind that treason and bribery are the two crimes that are specifically described. So the conventional wisdom is that the crime must be something in that area of treason and bribery. And just being a nasty person isn't going to be enough.
I think a lot of people heard of the last few days that Al Green, introduced this, but he didn't have the support of Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi and other key Democrats. Largely, it seems because they didn't feel the case was quite there. Is that really what it's looking like today? That there is not enough? The case just isn't there. That perhaps this could come up down the road, but we just, as you said, don't have enough to bring him on being a bad person, for example?
Right. It's not even close. And that's what we're seeing as the House votes. Mm-hmm. We're seeing this being an overwhelming defeat on the motion to table is going to be granted. This is going to go away relatively quickly, almost a day after it began. And the reason simply is, in light, especially in the wake of the Mueller report, which investigated Russia collusion, obstruction of justice, all of those things were, in Trump's mind, a clean bill of health. But now you have these sort of generalities talking about the president just being generally unfit to hold office with some specifics. But again, this has been tried in the past. Andrew Johnson was arguably impeached really because he was apparently a really, really unlikable person. Mm-hmm. But the reason was not unlikability. It was violation of the Tenure in Office Act, violation of a federal statute that gave them the grounds to even begin to impeach. This does not rise to the level of Johnson's impeachment.
Now, because this went away so quickly today, would it be safe to assume we might not see it again for a little while, or is this something that could perhaps come down the road? I know a lot of people are looking forward to next week. They know that the Mueller testimony is coming. Could certain other events precipitate maybe articles of impeachment being introduced again when there is perhaps more to go on?
The mere fact that these articles of impeachment were probably hopeless from the beginning doesn't mean they didn't have a purpose.
Okay.
They may be part of some larger, long game chess strategic move that people in the House, including Al Green, are planning. What purpose did today's vote serve? It really served a purpose of laying out how egregious Trump's behavior was on Twitter and the view that the House had about how egregious those tweets and his comments and his general unfitness for the office. To some degree, that's gotten out in the public, that plus a resolution, and that may play in later on to the long game of the Democrats who want to see Trump removed.
You mentioned the long game of the Democrats. Now that this has happened on the Republican side of things, how do you view what went on today? And does this in any way alter sort of their long game, how they'll be dealing with all of this?
You can look at the vote. Everything you need to know is in the vote there. At my last check, it was 100% of the Republicans who voted to table or dismiss this motion, dismiss these articles of impeachment. And you had about, again, when I last looked, about half and half Democrats moving to basically throw this out or moving to keep it moving it forward. In other words, you had half yay, about half nay. So that tells you how split even the Democrats are. Even the Democrats don't uniformly see this as the articles of impeachment, this as the event that will bring down Donald Trump. And in a way, when you look at the generalities in the articles of impeachment proposed, no one could have reasonably believed that this was going to get much further than it did today, or didn't today.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here. And click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.